Hello, my name is Will Stroll. I'm one of the sales engineers at .NET New Corporation. In this video, I'm going to be speaking to you about why you might want to try being a speaker or a presenter. Regardless of the type of presentations you'll be giving, this is probably the most important question to answer for yourself. So the purpose of this video is to talk to you about some of the reasons a person might want to be a speaker. But why watch this video in the first place? This is the first video in a series of others that will help you become a better presenter. The purpose of this specific video is to help you identify some of the reasons that you might want to be a speaker. Perhaps if you find the right thing that motivates you, your underlying passion might actually become speaking, which is something that you may not be even considering today. So the internet has changed basically the way we do everything, especially these days. Finding a job is clearly one of those things, probably the biggest change in how competitive the job market has become. No matter what your industry is, there are more and more candidates at the fingertips of hiring managers and recruiters. So it quickly becomes apparent that you need to find a way to stand out among the crowd. So if you have a wealth of speaking experience on your resume and you're immediately identified as a person that can be effective in business meetings and in front of clients, and just in general, a person that can hold an intelligent conversation about business on a daily basis. And by the way, this is not just fluff. If you get a certain amount of public speaking experience in your belt, you will be better at all of those things. Probably in the same vein of today's job market is reputation, both in and outside of the office. It is your reputation. The more presentations you give, the more you are looked up to by your peers and coworkers. And this is for a variety of reasons. And regardless of the reason, one inherent benefit of being a speaker is that your reputation gets a positive boost. Your audience will look up to you and respect you, and it doesn't hurt that this good reputation can be seen these days by prospective and existing customers, recruiters, and hiring managers. So most of us either have or are working on having a professional career in a certain field. And regardless to what that field is, the typical idea is to get promoted as high as you can until you reach a point of fulfillment. If you look at anyone that has become successful in their career, like Ken Powell, Steve Jobs, Gary Kelly, or Jeff Bezos, they all have one thing in common. Well, more than one thing, but they can speak in an effective way to the audience that they have. You may not be the CEO of Apple, but why can't you just be as influential to the people you're speaking to in your professional life on a daily basis? Think about the last time you sat in a presentation and was really motivated to do something at the end. You probably haven't forgotten who that person was, even if that presentation was years ago. Now, it doesn't really matter what industry we're in. It doesn't matter what our job title is. It also doesn't matter what venue we're in or who we're talking to. When we're speaking in front of an audience, we are selling something. We could very well be selling the world's best content management system, or the next generation tablet, or some incredible service. At the end of the day, though, we are selling something, and that is ourselves. If we could learn to sell ourselves to an audience, something that we do every day with our friends and family, we could sell anything professionally. It has been well documented over time that the number one fear is the fear of speaking publicly to a group of people. We don't have to look it up to see the evidence of this. Just think back to your school days or pay attention during your next business meeting. Someone always gets put on the spot to say something to the group, and it is immediately visible that they are uncomfortable. They begin to fidget, their voice cracks, they look away from everyone. There are some very scientific things that happen too. Heart rates rise, perspiration ensues, and more. Every year, more and more people take to getting better at public speaking. The resulting levels of confidence can be seen in every area of their life, both professional and personal. I have to admit, this is my original motivation for becoming a speaker. Early in my career, I was getting all kinds of help from people that I had never met, and from presenters at various conferences and events. These people helped me to become better and help build my career. They even helped me become successful. Then I sat in a presentation room early one day. I was in the front row. It was at a code camp. The speaker from the last presentation was packing up when the next speaker I was waiting for arrived. So the first speaker said, "Good luck." He's talking to the new one, and it wasn't the standard good luck though. They spoke for a moment because this is the first time that the next speaker I was waiting for was going to give a public presentation, his very first time. A few words of wisdom were given, and the first speaker left. The presenter I was waiting for looked as calm as could be, though. Presentation was great. It was highly technical. It was aggregating his findings after analyzing the pros and cons of 3 different programming tool sets. But it was during this presentation that I thought to myself, you know what, I can do that. It was This is the way that I found that I could give back, and I also could help other people better understand the topics that were either foreign or scary to them, very much like it was done for me before. So I wanted to give back, and this seemed like a great way to do it. It's one thing to have the desire to speak, though, but how do you get started? The best thing that you can do for yourself is start small. Short presentations that last for 5 or 10 minutes are best. Doing it in this way, it really shields you from the pressure of filling up longer blocks of time. The better you know your topic and more passionate you are about the topic, the easier you can prepare and give your presentation. So this helps you to feel more confident about your presentation. You'll want to do that for your first time. First-time venues for presenters can be found all over. They're in your workplace. Consider scheduling a meeting about a new idea for your department. There are also many groups out there that specifically exist for presentations or presenters. One of these is a user group. Every area has a user group of all kinds, .NET Nuke included. User groups are always looking for speakers, and new speakers are always welcome. So another organization is Toastmasters. They're very well known. This organization exists to help people get better at speaking. So it would be a great idea for a presenter of any skill level to join the Toastmasters organization. It's very much like a user group. These are just a few tips to start small. They will allow you to basically enter at the lowest barrier of entry and expectation. If you bomb your first time, it won't matter. Nobody will care. In fact, these kinds of groups will be eager to help you and give you advice to become better. It's not uncommon for somebody, even if everything went great, to come up and say, you know what, I just noticed this one thing, but by the way, it was great. Great job. Really appreciated it. Now, for many people, there isn't a need to get any bigger than the smaller venues and presentations, but if you choose, there are ways and places to show off your skills, your knowledge, and just give back to larger audiences and venues. And get big enough, and you can actually get sponsored in some way, including getting paid to speak at the event. Though these are kind of venues that typically have a higher bar and barrier to entry, these topics are often more complex and require a greater level of preparation to present. But some of the venues, especially conferences, may have the attendees paying to see you speak, even if you're not getting paid to do so yourself. In these situations, there's a higher expectation for your presentation, content, and skills, and in most cases, your speaking reputation would have been investigated prior to being selected as a speaker. So in closing, I want to thank you for watching and remind you that this is just one video in a series of many other videos on this topic. The ability to be a presenter actually lives inside all of us. Think about when you're asked by a friend or family member about your opinion of a movie, a product, or a new business idea, or the place to eat lunch today. You've been asked to present your ideas and opinions on the topic. You're presenting. You are already presenting every single day.